Assalamualaikum. I think we can start now. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. I bid to everyone present today. Welcome to all speakers and fellow students to our first slot for today. Grand Career Talk by Alumni for the Biochemical Biotechnology major. It is such a great blessing from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala that we are able together here today. We thank you all for grace to expose students to the current work, mainly theoretical knowledge being taught in the university. First, let me introduce our speakers for this slot. Our first speaker is Dr. Rika Rahman binti Nasaruddin. She is currently an assistant professor in IIM. Our next speaker is Sister Nur Alia Batrisha binti Ismail, who is currently working as a commercial account manager at Clarivet Analytics. And last but not least, Brother Muhammad Firdaus bin Umar, currently working as an R&D senior engineer at Top Glove. We are very happy to have all of our speakers here with us today. Dear brothers and sisters, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box, or you can save them for the Q&A session later on. I would like to remind everyone to kindly stay till the end of our program to fill in the attendance and feedback form that will be provided in the chat box later. Without further ado, I would like to invite our speakers, Dr. Rika Rahman, Sister Nur Alia Batrisha, and Brother Muhammad Firdaus to deliver their talk for today.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you? Thank you, Miss MC, Sister Siti Humaira, if I'm not mistaken. And also, I would like to say thank you also to our alumni, Sister Alia Batrisha, and also Brother Firdaus. Actually, I'm not so sure why I should be here because I am your lecturer. Okay, and then at the same time, I am also alumni. So I think I like when alumni participate in this kind of event and we share our experience, our knowledge to the current students. So I think actually I prepare a slide for this. I'm not so sure whether this is going to be good or not, but I hope with the slide at least I can give some overviews about my sharings in an easier way lah. Is it okay? MC, if I am sharing the slide? Okay, so never mind. I think I will share the slide so that it will be easier for me to share with you. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the first questions. Okay, you don't have to go to the to the QR code and then do the poll. Is this okay? You can just write on the chat. How many of you actually, okay, now for the current students, how many of you want or you think to be an engineer after graduation? Okay, the answer could be yes, no, or not sure. Right. How many of you? Okay. You can answer yes, no, or you're not sure whether later on after you graduate, you are going to be an engineer. Especially in biochemical engineering, which when you try to submit your resume, people will ask, what is this biochemical engineering? Is it similar with chemical engineering? Why you have biochemical dash biotechnology engineering? How many of you, okay, especially the alumni, Alia, do you face the same thing before? Okay, so for your information, I face the same thing, okay, when I would like to submit my resume to Shell, to ExxonMobil, okay, to Samdabi, they ask me, what is this biochemical dash biotechnology engineering? Okay, let me see the answers. Wow, so many not sure. Okay, all right. So that is okay because it is common for the undergraduate to feel the same thing. Okay, so how about you, Alia, before, and also Brother Firdaus? Do you have the same thought?
Yeah, correct. I think I have the same thoughts as well. You know, I'm not really sure what's the route that we're going to take or what's the future is going to hold for our especially for our courses, because some people, they don't really know. Like, they were asking like, what is this? Like what you mentioned just now, Dr. Rika, is the same thing. Yeah.
But at least during my time, it was during Pak Lah punya era tau.
Yeah, correct. Understand.
You know, bio, nano, what else? Not nano, biotech corp during that time.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of policy related to biotech. So supposedly during that time, we should feel okay to be in this biochemical biotechnology engineering because there is a policy from the government. However, people out there, they didn't know about this stuff, biochemical biotechnology engineering. Most of them just know that as chemical engineering. Even in chemical engineering, you also have biotech and some elements of biological stuff. So during that time, I have to put an effort to explain to them. Okay, so I have to show all of my what are subjects that I have studied. Okay, but never mind. Okay, let me move. Okay, question number 2. For those, okay, since not sure, okay, most of you are answering not sure. Why you are not sure about your future career? Can I know your answer? If you answer yes, okay, why do you want to be an engineer? If no, what do you want to be? You don't have to use Padlet. You can just write your answer on the chat box. Okay. So you can keep answer that, and later on I will look at the chat box. You know why I would like you why I would like to ask you this, because this is where when we have this conversation or this sharing moment, you start to think. Okay, I want you to start to think. All right, so this is my career journey. For your information, let me share to you, I am not from engineering. I am from sciences. Okay, so you can see this is me with my colleagues. Okay, this is during our matriculation center at Petaling Jaya. I was with them, Bachelor of Science in Biotechnology. But then, during my first year at Gombak, I start to know that all the biotech sciences need to go to Kuantan. Oh my goodness. Kuala Lumpur is my hometown. My family is here. I love my mom's cook. Okay, so I am quite, homesick. So I don't want to go to Kuantan. Then I take a challenge to convert to engineering. So a lot of my colleagues, okay, because I was active during my matriculation, so I have a lot of friends from engineering. They told me, Rika, that is a crazy decision. Why? Because you are going to fail. Nobody there is no one will not fail in engineering. That is what they mentioned to me, especially when it comes to calculus, when it comes to static and dynamics. So I just take that challenge because I know in terms of academic, I am quite good. So I take static and also calculus 1. And I have to make sure that these 2 subjects, I must get at least B. Okay, you cannot go below B. Okay, then Alhamdulillah, during that time, it's not only me, there are about 5 students, if I'm not mistaken, also would like to change to engineering. Some of them are from physical science. But I managed to pass, and I managed to stay at Gombak as engineering student. So you try to imagine, you are not from engineering, okay, and you don't really study about all those physics, calculus during your matriculation. So how can you survive? So the best way is, during that time, I am quite confused whether to take manufacturing engineering or biotech. But I don't want to waste so many time to learn all the engineering stuff, so never mind, just go for biotech. Why? Because it is quite close with biotech sciences. So I take biotech engineering. Okay, so then I start to realize there is a differences between biotech sciences and biotech engineering. For biotech sciences, I am focusing more on the fundamentals. But for biotech engineering, luckily, especially when I did my EIT at InnoBiologics, we are focusing more on, technology, system, operation, optimization. So this is something that I learned, and I start to observe how people in biochemical, okay, can go for. All right, for their career, they can go to this company. But unfortunately, today, I just know that this company has been closed. You see? It's not that easy for us, all right? But never mind. Next, I also was an active student during my undergraduate. I was a debater, I am debater. And not only that, I also active in extracurricular activity under KOE. So BESTA is one of my place for me to do a lot of activities. Like this moment, we did a visit to CEPP, and after that, we went to Biopolis Singapore. So there are a lot of things that I learned with the extracurricular activities. Okay, this is ENGITEX', all right? So I totally enjoyed being an engineering student. And what I realized, those activities are actually something that built me. Okay, build my talent, build my skills. And then after I graduated, of course, after you graduate, you would like to be an engineer. That is the first thing, because I am engineering students. Of course, I will find job in engineering. Whatever it is, it must be an engineer. Then during that time, I got an interview to work at MJRC, but it was not successful. I got interview to work at KWSP. Okay, that is not engineer, but we know the salary is quite high, about 3,000 and above as compared to the salary being an engineer at that time. But I was not successful. Then this is by luck. Okay, I went to the student affairs office, and suddenly there was an interview not for biotech engineering student. The interview is for ECE student and mechatronic student. You see, this is CTRM system integration Sdn Bhd. Nothing. There is no connection with biochemical. But during that moment, I saw that some of my colleagues, my friends, were there to go for this interview. After graduation, I already organized all my certificates and so on. Then I just mentioned to the person in charge, can I try this interview? Then I tried, for the questions related to the CIE, we studied, right, C++ and so on. It's like 0, no marks for that. Because after you go for your majoring, you don't really remember those C++, even though you studied that. Betul tak? It's like during my first year or second year, you just ignore that. But the good thing is the engineer the interviewers, okay, during that time, he saw my file. He said to me, you are a good engineer and I can direct you to management. And during the interview, I did it well in terms of writing, in terms of presenting myself. Then I managed to get this job, appointment as an engineer, and I'm working as what we call quality engineer. We are going to develop, all right, quality engineer means you are going to develop an SOP, guideline on how to manage the company. And this system integration is actually subsidiary of CTRM, the big one. But currently it is DevTech System Integration Sdn Bhd. So it is like a new subsidiary. So you can see you are like a pioneer. But it is interesting. It's just that money is very important during that time. The salary of engineer that time is just like 2,000. Then I received another offer to become academic trainee, and the salary is like 3,000 and above. Okay, you are young at that moment. You don't know what kind of career you would like to do. And the thing that can motivate you a lot is that time, money. That is, I have to be honest to you. Whenever you get a good job with a good salary, you will go for that. Right. So that moment when I received the academic trainee of IIUM with a salary higher than 3,000, and again, it is in my field. You start to feel, yeah, now I'm going to use something that related to my field, right? If I'm working, if I continue working at CTRM, system integration, I'm going to work on aviation technology. I'm going to work on something related to ECE, electrical, system, software. I don't have time for that, to study all of that again. So I want to just, cut it short, better I go for something related to my field. Okay, then I choose R&D and academia, from industry to R&D and academia. So if you look here carefully, there are a lot of things that you can do under engineering. You can be executive department, you can be academia, you can do for research and development, all right, field and operation, training, marketing, consultation, and project-based. Like this one, R&D and academia, all right, in order to become a lecturer, you need to do the R&D first. This is what we call as master study, PhD. Some people will regard those who are doing master study or PhD, they don't get job, then they just do that. But actually, if you have a clear vision, when you do R&D, like research, you are actually applying your knowledge, develop something, come up with something, and the direction could be academia in Malaysia. But at overseas, okay, in overseas, usually if you are doing R&D, you can also work in industry. They really appreciate those with PhD, master to work in their company. All right, so this is what I'm doing. For my IIUM academic trainee, okay, master study at IIUM, I work on converting biodiesel, on producing biodiesel from slush palm oil. But the good thing is, even if you just stay in the lab, I am an active student during my undergraduate. During master, I already married. So there is no more students activity. Gila ke budak master suddenly join students activity? There is no such thing. But what I'm doing during my master study is, I try to email Samdabi, research in Berhad, because I took sample from them. I asked, can I have a training on how to actually characterize the slush palm oil? And then they just give me, yes, okay, you can come. Then I went there several times doing the training. This is my own effort tau. I just asked permission, okay, recommendation from my supervisor to allow me to do training there. So I went to the palm oil milling operation and see how the process occur. Okay, like this one. Okay, somebody is taking the slush palm oil, and then I also went to the lab and learned on how to do the characterization. So I know actually how people work in such industry. And then not only that, okay, I was also lucky because I have an experience working as assistant auditor for environmental quality at construction site. Okay, because we have one lecturer, okay, we had one lecturer before, I.R. Zaki, okay, he has a company with his colleague. So we work there, and I know that, oh, people, biochemical engineering, you can also work in this area. You just focus on the Environmental Quality Act, you become the auditor, okay, but you need to have some certification lah. Maybe you can, you can take some professional cert, and then you become somebody who are expert in this, then you become the auditor. So I become the auditor for the project by Samdabi. Okay, we went to the construction site and we see how can actually they make sure all the waste being counted properly. Okay, being taken care of properly. So these are my experience. Okay, then after I completed my master, I have to continue with my PhD. I went to Singapore. Okay, the reason I went to Singapore during that time is because my husband is working as an engineer and he also has his own career. So I don't want to disturb his career. So I went to the close country, which is Singapore. And it is also interesting in Singapore because at the same time, I also get opportunity to work as a research engineer. So it is just a short duration of time. I work as research engineer just to help me to pay for my 4th year of study. It is quite expensive and not quite, like 80,000 you have to pay. 40,000 for one semester. That is for the 4th year. During that time, Malaysia has a lot of problem related to economic 1MDB. So a lot of students who being sent to overseas to study, they cannot continue their scholarship. My PhD is not 3 years, it's like 4 years. You cannot cut it into 3 years. It is impossible because it is quite similar with US. Okay, so I have intensive, coursework. So what I learned when become research engineer at NUS, I had a meeting with people to discuss about pattern. I had a meeting with people to discuss about building startup company. So we discuss about who will be the catalyst. We discuss with some corporate people. But this experience is something that always there with me. Okay, and the good thing as research engineer here, I learned about optimization for product development. This is the most important thing as an engineer, to compare you to people who are scientists. Okay, scientists will go to the fundamental, but engineer, you studied about decision science. In manufacturing subject, you study about product development, right? If I'm not mistaken, optimization. Okay, that is what can differentiate you than those who are taking sciences. Okay, so then now I am academician. Okay, I have teaching, I have community engagement, invited as speaker at Singapore, invited as speaker at UITM, invited as speaker at school, and I also doing research, not only at university, but also I'm doing collaborative research with industry. And then I also have my website. Okay, so if you would like to check, okay, I have there what I'm doing now. I just want to make it fast lah. Sorry, Humaira, so I make it fast. So if you have any question, you can write on the chat box. So you can go to my website and see what I'm working. So I'm developing, I love nanotechnology. That is what I was doing when I did my PhD. So I have producing gold nanocluster, which is a new as compared to gold nanoparticle. And those things can be applied to develop cosmetic. Not only that, currently, okay, this is also another thing. This is my hobby tau. Okay, I love, because I was a debater before, so I love to, you know, do some storytelling to kids. This is my pastime, free time. Okay, so I make a program for kids. Okay, I also love digital art, so I did a lot of poster, and then also I want in news bulletin. Now this one. Okay, this is something that I would like you to think. This is what I realized. Okay, currently I am also doing a project consultation with a company who are working on developing sensor for COVID-19. Then I start to realize, okay, my work, okay, what is it? Is it a life? Okay, is it a value? Is it a wealth? Is it a name? Is it a passion? Is it a hobby? Is it a satisfaction? Or is it nothing? It's just like, okay, at 8 a.m. in the morning and then at 5 p.m. in the evening, then you just go back and you just ignore about work. Some people will discuss about this a lot. And if you ask me, I start to realize I am a workaholic person. As you can see, I did a lot of things. But after sometimes, it comes to a point that I would like to do something that I love to do. You know? At the beginning, whatever job you receive, yes, you will accept that. That is okay. Okay, even though it is not biotech, that is okay because you are actually trying to develop yourself. You are trying to figure out what kind of things that you would like to do, right? And then you also need to learn about some soft skill in working, right? Employment is not that easy. You have to try first, then you know how to work under people. Okay, but when I did the project as a consultant for the nano sensor, we are working together not only for biotech lah, because if you would like to develop something which is what we call something sophisticated, okay, using a lot of knowledge, so it must be multidisciplinary. So we are working together until night. Okay, me, people from CIE, electrical, people from software development, and then people from immunologists. We start to actually challenge our expertise. And that is the moment I start to feel, oh my goodness, I need this kind of experience. So in order to get this experience, there is one thing that I need to do, which is technopreneurship. Either you become the technopreneurs or you are in the technopreneurship team. Because this is like product development. I had published in high impact journal 22 impact factors, nanoscale, more than 7 impact factors. So I already feel the satisfactions of publication. But one of my colleagues mentioned to me, Rika, publication is nothing. Because at the end of the day, people just read that. All right. And in some cases, the publication cannot be translated into product. Okay, so I start to, you know, and I have to teach also subject technology entrepreneurship. And I start to realize we as engineer, we are problem solver. We are innovators because we learn about product development. We have knowledge. So why not we innovate something, right? With your knowledge now, as a biochemical, a lot of things you can do. Cosmetic, what else? Supplement. It's not only, you know, bioprocess, working in the plant and so on, no. Okay, if you have a knowledge about nanotech, you just embed a little amount of nano materials, you can enhance the current product. That is something that you can become inventor, you can become innovator. All right, but you need to get a lot of experience on how to come out with a startup. Okay, there are a lot of helps given by the government. Okay, like from MOSTI, from Teraju, from Cradle. Okay, so this is what I start to realize. Actually, career is a value. To me, career is a value. Okay, when you can see that the things that you do can create values to others, and the more values you can create, like if you have a company, or you can open a job, or you can start coming with innovation that can open more job opportunities. So more values can be spread to others, especially for those who are already graduated. They don't have jobs, so you can open job opportunities for them. So this is what I start to feel the best career is the career that can bring values not only to yourself, but also to more people, the community. So I think that's all from me. Yeah, this is thing that you can look by yourself, okay? You look into yourself, your personality, and which career that you think suit you better. Okay, you can get this a lot. Okay, just Google, you can get this a lot. Okay, and then, okay, thank you. All right, so you are doing great for attending this, what we call CaFE. So if you have any questions now, you can ask me. If you have any, yeah. Some engineers, especially are underpaid. This is true, Humaira. Yes, but now I'm not so sure. During my time, it is underpaid, 2,000 working as engineer. But now I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about Alia and Firdaus. Have you start with 2,000 or more than that actually?
Let me let me start first. I personally think it depends on the company that you are working with now and the industry that the company is actually working on, because for some big companies they actually pay quite well. But myself, I personally didn't have I didn't complain on this now, or because I didn't receive such underpaid. I don't think it's underpaid lah. But
actually, okay, underpaid, but now it's at least 3,000 and above, right? Alia, right?
I was not in, how do I say, I was the unconventional engineering job. I was in an unconventional engineering job. So I guess I can't say much about it, but I do hear from some friends of mine who are working in engineering. They do face some difficulties in securing a much more higher salary compared to others. And some, depending on the sector itself, like for example, healthcare, right? They might be paying you quite adequately because it's a booming market. It's, you know, especially the COVID area, whatever is happening in the world right now. So depending on the sector itself, yeah, I can't say much about it. But there is some cases which you are underpaid, of course.
Okay, let me share you something lah, because my husband is working as engineer, so I know how much is the salary punya increment kan. So let me tell you something. We are working in a company which is well established. The SOP is already there. So you are replaceable. You are nothing. It's like you are not. It's not like you are nothing, but you are just like somebody that can be replaced because the company already have everything. You just try to do whatever it is specified by the company. But if you are somebody with a values, for example, you have some creativity or you have some, you know, knowledge or certificates on something, you are not replaceable. Nobody can replace you because you know that thing more than others. You are actually the one who designed something. This is something related to design lah. Designed, you know, come up with ideas. Okay, and not only come up with ideas, executing the ideas. So then your values is higher. So some people, they think that if they work in the well-established company, they will get, you know, no risky, salary is okay. But after sometimes, if you compare to those who are working in certain company like consultation company, you can see that actually in terms of the career development and also values, the values of those who are working in the consultation company, like they are solving problems, they are meeting clients, getting project, their values is even higher. They can get higher salary based on the success of their project, not just by doing the same thing over and over again. Can you understand my sharing here? There is a difference now. If you are working in a company as somebody who are just following the same SOP, which if you leave the company, others can still do your job. But if you are the one who are working in the consultant company, you have your network already. you run a project already. You come up with the solutions for that company already. So you already establish name and values there. All right. So what happened if you leave the company, people will find you, not the company, because they know they are dealing with you and they know you know about that things. And that is a different sides of engineering that not so many people understand. Only those who are rare breed, they will go to that kind of thing because it is challenging. You need to come up with good values. You must have your own knowledge. You must know about something. You must expect about something. Then you can be that kind of engineering punya work lah. For example, me working as consultant, using my technology, using my knowledge and expertise, I received higher payment as compared to my work now. And now you can see, because they want your brain, they want your talent, they want your expertise, not the same thing that other people can also do. That is how I can share the experience, my experience to you. I think that's all quite. Maybe Alia and Firdaus can start sharing your punya experience. Maybe me, because it's already, I'm not so sure, I graduated 2010. 10 years experience, all right? So maybe Alia and Firdaus.
Yeah, I think me and Firdaus, we both did not prepare a slide because we thought it was an informal session. We thought of just saying whatever we experienced that we had, because we are also pretty much a rookie anyway compared to Dr. Rika, who had a very, very extensive experience in the industry itself. But yeah, I think I can start sharing a bit about my experience. So currently I'm working as a commercial account manager. I will be explaining to you another side of engineering that not most people who would go to, which is sales engineering, which is something I believe not many people are aware of. Not many people are actually exposed to it. But when I was into the industry, I noticed that it's actually a very, very big potential, and most companies are looking for a sales engineer at the moment. So if I were to go back in time to tell you a bit about my history, right? So during my undergrad, I was selected as there's 10 of us in a team in which we are selected by the Office of Industrial Link UIA to become this a part of this program called HIGIP, which is High-End Industrial Graduate Internship Program. It's a very long one, but from there, right, I was exposed to. I was in my second year undergrad, and then there was 10 of us. We were selected, and we are supposed to go for an internship every short semester. So every short semester you have like three months off, right? Or you can either go for short semester. It depends on you. But for us, right, for the whole 3 years, meaning for my second year, third year, and fourth year, I have to go for an internship. It's not the conventional internship that everyone has at the end of their undergrad studies. So in that sense, I do have an exposure into the industry. It's a semiconductor industry in Penang. It's called Jabil Circuit, if you are familiar with that. It's in there itself, right? I always question myself, what am I doing here? Because that was a semiconductor company. It was a manufacturing company. I have no experience in electrical. I have very, very minor experience. You know, what I know about circuitry is all what I learned in the class, all this micro electronics, electric circuit. So that is quite a big exposure for me, because I learned a lot about what is happening in a manufacturing factory, what is going on, all the quality, because I was assigned to this quality department. So for 3 years, every short semester, I will go to Penang and go for my internship there. All right. So from there, I do have some prior experience in, I would say, the manufacturing field itself. So after after the fourth year, I straight away go into my master's program. So I was a mentee of Dr. Amani. I believe Dr. Rika also. I've known Dr. Rika as well. So I was her mentee. So she was my mentor. From there, I was exposed to nanotechnology and nano biosensor. I have actually Dr. Amani, I have to give credit to her as well. She exposed me to this nanotechnology world, in which I found very, very interesting, because I found that, you know, something so small can bring so much advantage, so much benefit to the world, to the materials, to the material stuff. I mean, this is just a metaphor, I would say. Something so small can bring so much benefit to everyone, to the thing itself. So yeah, to cut it short, after my undergrad, I did a lot of research work for my master's as well as a research officer. So I did this research thing with Dr. Amani. I attended to quite a number of conferences. She's been very supportive in helping me as well to bring me to some conference, to help me publish. So at the end of my master's study, actually around the time where I'm supposed to send my thesis, I have to self-sustain myself because I don't have a scholarship. So in that sense, I do a lot of part-time jobs. And because I still am short of money, so I went into a unconventional route, which is I went to apply for a sales job. Number one, why did I apply for a sales job? Number one is why? Because the answer is I am not as confident in speaking in public as everyone knows. I'm pretty much an introvert previously. So I thought, okay, I have to know how to talk to people. All right, that was one of the reasons. And then a second thing is like I noticed like some researchers, right? What you did in research, whatever you did, sometimes it will just be left on the lab bench. No one commercialize it. No one sells it to the industry. So whatever you did, it was just stored in the cupboard. There it is. There it is, just for you to know. So I found that you have to try and sell things. If to become a successful person, you have to know the subject matter itself. You have to know research, and you also need to know how to sell your research. If you don't know how to sell your research, then there's no point of you doing research anyway, because there's no, like, I would say, value added to whatever it is that you're doing. So which is why that is the reason why I go into sales. I was I actually was at the end of my master's. Actually, I went into sales executive. I become a sales executive for a dental company. It was a very family-oriented dental company, a Chinese family-oriented. It was a very small company. There's only like 10 of us. So I did a lot of talking. I did a lot of meeting dentists, clients everywhere around Malaysia. And then fast forward 2 years later, pretty much somewhere in the middle of last year, which is in April, I started joining a new company, which is Clarivate, the one that I'm looking at right now. So what Clarivate does is that Clarivate is like pretty much the bridge between researchers and industry. So we have 3 portfolio actually under Clarivate. This is just a brief summary of my company. We have 3 portfolio. Number 1 is science. So if you are familiar with EndNote, yeah, our company is the one who built EndNote. So EndNote is like something like Mendeley. If you are in the final year, you should be familiar with Mendeley as well. So EndNote is like pretty much a competitor of Mendeley. So we have science portfolio, which is Mendeley. We also have life science portfolio, which means if you are a researcher, or if you are someone who is in the biotech industry, in a biotech company, and you want to, I would say, commercialize your drug, you have to undergo clinical trial. So we provide data, we provide insights for all these researchers, and also researchers and everyone who is in the life science company. If you need any data insights, how to go into this clinical trial section, which is it's very long, it's very I would say a very tedious process. So we do provide data and insight. And last but not least, the last portfolio we have is IP, which is intellectual property. I was assigned under the intellectual property portfolio. I was the account manager, meaning I was handling around 150 accounts all across ANZ, South Asia, and also India, in which I communicate with all those researchers, law firm who needed data, who needed insight to commercialize their product. So if, let's say, you have some product, right? You have Apple, you want to commercialize. You can't just simply, sell to people like that, and people can easily plagiarize your invention. You want to, can definitely, can see now there's so many plagiarized product in the market. So from there, right, we provide insight in terms of like, if you need to know how can you patent this product. So we provide insights on that. How can you, do some prior art search? This is very technical, actually. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure not many are familiar with, but yeah, we do provide data and insights. So from there, right, what I found this work to be very close to my heart, because I was from a research background as well. So I was working into I was doing masters, right? So I was very much into research. And now I am more towards like a bridge between the research world and industry. So if you were to sell something, I was the person who will provide you the input so that you can sell whatever you want to sell to the industry. So it's pretty much like a link. Yeah, which is why I am very, very this current job is very close to my heart, and which is why I also want to encourage all our undergraduates to please consider other things as well. Don't just limit yourself to think like, okay, your work is just 9 to 5 job as an engineer. There's so much. There's a plenty. It's like a sea out there. You just have to know what you want. You have to know which trees you should go to, which pond you should go to, so that you can get your fish. Which is, yeah, it's very metaphorical, but yeah, but that is what I would say. Yep. I guess that is pretty much my summary. It's a very short summary. If you have any questions, feel free to join. Feel free to ask me. I think Firdaus also. I actually met Firdaus when we are in an undergraduate. When I was in undergraduate, I joined a ChemEca competition. So I was the pioneer group, the first group from UIA to represent a UIA to join the ChemEca competition. So ChemEca is like is a competition held in Malaysia nationwide. It's been around for quite some time, but in 2015 we are the first team who represent Malaysia, IIUM. So sorry about that. So we're the first team to represent IIUM. It was a good exposure as well, because you get to know what ChemEca does. Is actually we how do I say it? We built a car by ourselves using chemical reaction. It's not just some simple manual car, you pakai gear, you pakai all that. No, it's a combination of using chemical reaction as well as electric circuitry. So there's a lot of multidisciplinary I would say knowledge involved in building a car from ChemEca. So that is where I met Firdaus actually. Firdaus was the second group who the following year after me, who joined the ChemEca competition. So yeah, I guess that is mainly it. Firdaus, do you have anything to add?
I think Alia and Dr. Rika already pretty much summarized so many things and so many inputs for especially fresh graduates to enter industry and working exposure. From my side, I think yes. Initially, I graduated in 2017, and Alia was my senior, and and then I continued my master while working in Top Glove. And that's where I met Dr. Rika, somewhere nearby a road or something. And then we were talking about some research, what's going on, and all this.
Right?
There was a dream. I think it's not wrong to have a dream.
Okay.
Okay, but then I think Allah has already planned well for my life journey. So initially, actually, I was an intern in Top Glove. My current position is now as a senior engineer in Top Glove in research and development department. So when I was applying for internship last time, as what Dr. Rika said, everyone was asking, what is biotech engineering? Why is biochemical/biotechnology? So I kind of received a lot of rejections. And then towards the end of the period where I have to find a place for internship, the only place that accepted me was Top Glove. So we're pretty much open to a few vacancies. So when I was in the interview, they are asking me if I want to choose any of the departments there. So they choose HQ engineering, research and development, and also QA, quality assurance. So I choose research and development because I think I like to do research. I like to conduct some development studies and all this, rather than quality assurance. Actually, each and every department depends on your how to say, your passion, your minute. Which area you want to do? Are you going to do some sort of routine job, or you want to challenge yourself to do extra work, to do hard work? And are you someone who likes to do research and then use all your analytical skill and also everything that every knowledge that you have to one particular project or something? So when I was entering the R&D department as an intern, it actually widens my view, where in real working life, you don't really, how to say, I'm not mentioning what you are studying now is not important, but it's important for you to utilize especially your brain, your analytical thinking, your skills, and how you acquire knowledge. Are you a fast learner? Are you someone who is hardworking? So the most important thing in working life is actually your soft skills. For me, if you're someone who is very intelligent, you are first class degree, for example, or you have a good CGPA, but then in working life, some of the managers or some of the bosses, they don't really like you because of maybe you're lacking of some soft skills. And what as Alia mentioned just now, she pretty much I respect her in terms of she thinks she's an introvert, but I don't think so. Even though I don't think she's an introvert, she actually speaks well. But it's not wrong for you to improve. So for you to improve yourself, I myself last time was an introvert as well. So when I was in Chemica, this Alia batch appointed me to become a leader for the next batch. So I was reluctant in the beginning, but then in the end I take it as a challenge, and I take it as something that I can benefit from. So from there, I learned how to manage a team, how to satisfy everyone's needs, and how to actually come up with a solution from each and every ideas. So I'm practically now is one of the head of the team. I'm guiding and leading a team of 20 researchers, including engineers, chemists, and officers. So it's quite a big team, and each of them has different projects. I have to monitor, and I have to give solution and coach them how to do, because they most of them actually also sometimes having hard time on conducting their research, conducting their project, and how to continue when they are stuck. So as a leader of the team, I have to give some motivation and solution to their problems. So actually, when I reflect this, is actually, you require some skill, because not all leaders are perfect. Some actually need some sort of trainings as well, but then you can acquire this training during your undergrad during your study life. So I would like to advise that don't just limit yourself to just study, especially in your university life. You need to acquire your skills and leadership skills, communication, analytical skill, teamwork especially, and so on and so forth. So and about being an engineer, because I have been working as an engineer for 4 years plus. So what Dr. Rika mentioned just now is on the why engineer is different from a scientist. Is because we are the problem solver. We create something, and we innovating something. Okay, so scientists are also innovating something, but then engineers actually contribute to the implementation of the project, of the innovation. So you have to think, you cannot only work as a doing research and doing work, and then in the end, what Alia mentioned just now, you just keep inside your drawer. So because sometimes what you are doing is brings a lot of benefit. So you have to implement them. So how you want to convince your boss or your leader to implement your work or your research, your project, is by soft skill. You need to have a good soft skill, such as communication, effective communication. Sometimes when we are working in especially big company, sometimes a simple mistake can bring a very huge impact. So that's where I always emphasize my team to have a very good communication skill, and also being proactive, especially when they have their good project to be implemented, not just keep inside the drawer. And also for biochemical and biotechnology, there are actually a lot of, for me, there are a lot of market nowadays, especially in healthcare sectors, because people start to realize that healthcare, especially healthcare industry, is pretty much very important. So it's depending on how you commercialize yourself. So you just mentioned you are doing this project, blah blah blah, but you don't really highlight what are the values that you can contribute to the company. What are the things that you can attract the attention of the managers or the recruiters. So I would like to advise that you don't limit yourself. I'm a biochemical biotechnology engineering graduate, but on elaborating on what you can contribute to the company. Please, during the interview, I would like to advise, don't mention you just want to gain experience, but especially you have to convince them that you can contribute to the industry. I think that's all from my part. I think if you want to ask me any of questions, then you can ask.
I think I saw good questions from the students here. Yeah, maybe I would like to start with this. Abdullah cannot comprehend entirely about chemical engineering. Okay, now for your information, biotech, we are moving towards chemical engineering, but we still focusing more on bio stuff. So it's not easy, but I think it is, you should know chemical engineering is like, it's there already. It's like a mother to this engineering juga atau not mother to, I always say like this, physics is the father, chemical is the mother, and biology is the baby. If you attended my class thermodynamic, this is my analogy. With physics and chemistry, you get the biology. But at the end of the day, you are engineers, you know all of this. That is the good thing of being an engineer. Example, like mentioned by Brother Firdaus just now, when we are working to develop the product, most of the people in sciences, they come up with all those, paper from nature and so on. But we as engineer, we know that if you are using that method, even though it works on the paper, it doesn't work for the commercial because the optimization will be very difficult. So you engineer, you know that. So you as a chemical engineering student and biotech, you have to know what are the engineering things that can benefit the field of biotechnology. Optimizations of product using PCR and so on. Is that optimized or not? Now working on sensor having what? Electrical stuff and so on. It's just that you cannot just focusing on bio stuff only. That is why in your degree, you have to study drawing. You have to study C++. You have to attend technology entrepreneurship. You have to study product development. Some of you may think, why I have to study all those things? Right? You also need to study calculus. Oh my goodness. 5 calculus. All right? Statics, dynamics. Actually, all those things helps you to, okay, Firdaus want to say something.
I would like to add also, especially some, your Microsoft skill also very important, and your especially your Excel, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint.
And for
you might think this one is very, you guys might think this one is very simple or tedious, but then these are very, very important.
Betul. Sebenarnya when you do all the problem solver in your problem solving in your mathematics and calculus, you actually start to develop your thinking tau, but not so many of you know about this. Because you have a problem stated, okay, Ahmad doing this and that, how many numbers? But usually you remember how to do that. You doesn't actually start to create the critical thinking. But if you really know all those engineering subject, core subject in engineering, it's actually want you to actually start to strategize how to solve this problem in your exam. Okay, you start to, okay, what is the assumption? Okay, what are the equation needed? So that is what you are going to do in the real industry punya setting. That thinking is the most important thing. But as a lecturer, I know that sometimes the education itself force you to not think, but to remember. Okay, to be honest, this is what I see the differences between whatever I studied at IIUM before and when I did my PhD at NUS, because I had to do this, comprehensive coursework. So advanced thermodynamics, advanced reaction engineering. And most of the questions, they ask you to think, not to remember. So this is what you need to start learning now. You have to develop the thinking of engineer. When you see a problem, how to solve the problem, you start to do strategy. What are options that you have? That is the thoughts of an engineer. If you don't have this kind of thoughts, actually it's not that easy for you to survive in an industry if you would like to become an engineer, unless you would like to become those who just follow the SOP. You are not going to, give ideas. You just follow. That is okay. You still get salary. But in terms of the career advancement, it will be slow. Okay, it will be slow. Because we are problem solver. We should have that. Okay, so that is my answer for that chemical engineering, which whatever it is, chemical engineering, you are solving problem related to the chemical industry. And under chemical, as I said, it is a mother, you will have also baby, biotechnology and any biological things. Okay, so that is the easiest way to understand what is this chemical engineering. Right. Okay, maybe other question, Alia or Firdaus can answer for the students. Yeah, I think what is the potential job, career? Okay.
Or what is the potential job or career for chemical engineering? For me, how to say? There are each and every sector or every company, they have their own department or their own branch inside their company, and just like what Alia mentioned just now, is she's working on more on sales. So chemical engineering can also work on sales, can also work on R&D, just like what I am doing. Can also do quality assurance. It depends on the how from which department you are interested on, and also what you can actually contribute to that particular department for the whole company's business as a whole. So for you to how to say, to choose what career path you are going to, I think you need to also familiarize with the industry as a whole. So what are the departments they have, and all this. Some people might think chemical engineering only work on offshore or something, oil and gas. Oil and gas is an industry, but then inside the industry itself, there are many departments. You can have instrument or mechanicals or something doing firing or something doing gases. So it actually depends on
Can I ask something? This is what I know before. Whenever you work in the oil and industry company, during my time, people will think you're already successful. Whenever somebody after graduated in biochemical or chemical engineering got job at Schlumberger, Petronas, you are already successful. This is common stereotype, yeah? So you have to understand, my husband punya family is working in that field. It's not as easy as what you can think. Okay, some of them need to be offshore for many months and even 1 year, because my husband punya brother-in-law is actually the chief engineer working in Petronas, MHME. We have a lot of this kan dekat Pasir Gudang. And the wife need to, stay alone. So there is a lot of difficulties. But I'm not saying that it's bad, no. If you get the opportunity, yes, why not? If you are single, get a lot of money, then open your own company later. You can do that, right? Whatever opportunity you have. But you have to ask yourself first. Okay, that is why I'm sharing just now. Look at your personality. Are you the one who are like workaholic and okay to just work alone? Okay, not work alone, like you don't have that kind of social life. Like you can, every weekend go to watching movies with friends. Some of you like this kind of life. Okay, some of you is okay. I just work with my engineering friends and colleagues. Okay, so you have to check yourself first. Some people, yes, get money, okay, good, 1, 2, 3. After 1 to 3 years, okay, but after some time they start to feel something is missing lah. You work just for nothing. That is what I mentioned. What is career for you? Is it your life? Is it your values? Is it your wealth only? So wealth is okay. Just work at this oil and gas company. So these are the things you need to ask yourself. You need to do research on this as well. But if you get the opportunity and you think that money is very important to you, why not just go for it? Learn as much as possible. Later on, if you feel that, okay, this is already enough for me, then it's okay. But don't enjoy the money. Like graduates, they love to, when they get the money, they spend more than whatever salary they receive monthly. No, this is not the right way. You have to think for the future. At the end of the day, are you going to work until the end of your life? No. Probably you would like to have some savings, right? Think about this. Okay. So okay, that is my opinion on that lah.
Yeah, I could also add a bit. But speaking about Dr. Rika's mentioned stereotype just now, right? When I first after my masters, I joined sales, right? I did face a lot of stereotypes actually, because they say like, oh, what are you doing after the masters? You're doing sales. Sales is like everyone can do sales. So I say, oh no, it's different. Okay, if you check in my company right now, people who are in doing PhD, doctors, researchers, they are all into sales right now. I wouldn't say because it's a booming market, because okay, number one, of course, you get a lot of money. If you want a lot of money, please come into sales. But number two, right, it's because the value that you add as for being an engineer and doing sales is very, very different compared to anyone who is like who is in other sector doing sales. is very, very different.
Something,
And
Alia, can I ask? When you're doing
yeah,
sales, a bigger network, is that right?
yes,
You know, a
yeah,
lot of people. After that, if you
yes,
would like to
yes.
open your own company, there will be no big problem for you, right?
Yeah, correct. That's networking is also one important thing, and also you know the product better than other salespeople. That's the one thing that my boss themselves claim truly like spoke to me like, Alia, you have a value added I would say personality or maybe characteristic because you know a certain technical term that not many people knows. When I first I was selling braces to dentists. So I went to a dentist and then they say, do you know what's the what do you call it tensile strength of this product? I was like, okay, yeah, of course I know because we are working with tensile. Somewhat imagine my colleague who is not in the engineering field have to answer that questions. That they can't answer that. They said, oh, I'm not sure about that. So now, that is the big difference between you as an engineer and you as engineer who is working in a sales field. So if you were to ask me what are the potential jobs, there are a lot actually. And if you want to go into sales, I would definitely advocate that because of course, like Dr. Ika said, networking, money. I can tell you money is not an issue if you were in sales because you're working commission based and also like what you work actually like you can feel the taste of your fruit. How do you say it? There's a word for it. You can taste the sweet taste of your fruit of labor. I would say yeah. That was the thing. The harder you work, the more you earn. The slower you work, the lesser you earn. So if you are a hardworking person, someone who is, I think Dr. Ika mentions mission-oriented, I guess sales would also be an opportunity for you, also be another branch for you to consider. Yeah, I think I got a questions also here. Is it hard for you to find internship, a job after you graduated? What is the challenges? Um, I let's just say like I do not find it hard because if number one, if you put in a lot of effort into your soft skill, because I joined a lot of competition. I was also pretty much ENGITEX', right? You guys, I was one of the program coordinator when I was in undergrad for ENGITEX' as well. So whenever you put into your resume, I'm pretty sure your employer would definitely think give you some bonus point on that. So in terms of is it hard for me? Of course not. But yeah, I was I choose the unconventional route. I would say I'm not the typical engineering who is working on the engineering field because I wanted both. I wanted the best of both worlds, which is research and also industrial. So which is why I joined this this career field. Yeah, to answer that. I hope that answers the question. Any other things?
Raja Firdaus would like to share?
I think that was the last question.
The last
Oh,
question. Okay. You guys would like to open your microphone and ask something. You know why? You can see like how good is Sister Alia speaking. Okay, even me, I'm not as good as Sister Alia. Still have some mistakes here and there. But at the end of the day, there are two things. Okay, your personality, how good you are in speaking is number one. Your confidence level is number two. Okay, and this thing can actually overrule your expertise tau if you manage to talk well, but at the same time you must make sure lah walk the talk, right? But this first two thing is the one that can screen, okay, can bring you can win the screening process. If you ask me, I got the job working at CTRM Sdn Bhd, although it is not biotech company, because of this skill, confident level to speak. Okay, so now you have the opportunity to ask us, why don't you on your microphone, say something, or probably you can just share your concern. Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Anyone who has question can maybe can unmute your mic and also ask question, because practically that's also one of the soft skill required as a fresh grad who is proactive, more proactive, means you are outstanding.
Yes.
During my class, I will just pick the name.
Oh,
Now
really?
I feel like I would like to do the same thing. Izzati Aziz, What do you think now, Izzati Aziz? Do you want to be an engineer or still not sure? Or there will be other field, okay, that you feel that it's good? Where to learn advanced Microsoft Office course? A lot, Ahmad. Okay, Ahmad Abdul Hamid, you can just now knowledge is like free, like University of Life is already there in Google, YouTube, Facebook. Okay, you just need to put effort on that. Search. Okay, then you can get, yeah.
There's a free courses for under HRDF, if I'm not mistaken, Human Resource Development. Yeah, there's a free courses on that. You can definitely go. Yeah, definitely. Focus more on Excel because I believe Excel is truly important. Definitely important in the industry.
Now data science and data management.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any other questions? Ada. May I know which
I'm
year are
sorry.
you now? Yeah, yes. Humaira,
We're
you want to
actually
ask
at the end of our session.
Okay.
So if there's any last word from the speakers.
Okay. Last word, eh? Okay, my last word to you, if I am still at IIUM, if I am still, because now I have an urge, I would like to go to industry and learn more, and later back I can go back to academia, that is okay. If you attended my class, okay, you can ask me more, okay, related to the career under chemical engineering or biochemical engineering. And if you attended my class, technology entrepreneurship, I also will share all about this. And we are here, okay, to help you, to guide you. If you would like to ask more, just feel free to ask us. And all the best. That's all from me.
All right, thank you, Dr. Rika. Is there any last words from Sister Alia or Brother Firdaus?
Oh yeah. I guess we've talked a lot today about this careers, right? So all the best to you guys. You want to you can always connect with me on LinkedIn. If you want to get in contact with me, I can definitely answer any of your questions. If you have any thoughts or something that you want to ask me, definitely please connect with me through LinkedIn. It's Nur Alia Batrisha Ismail. So I guess that is mainly it. All the best to all the undergraduates. Hopefully you guys could succeed in your future and also in your career. That's all from me.
All the best to everyone, and I would like to wrap up from our speaking today is I think soft skill is also very important, and also some of the skills you have to acquire, especially Excel and others. Yes, you can also connect with me in LinkedIn. My name is Firdaus Omar, Firdaus Omar, and all the best for your final year and also for your job hunting.
Yeah. If you need help with resume or anything, please, you can definitely contact me or something. I can definitely help with that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much to all speakers for the excellent sharing session with all of us. Thank you for making the time to join us for this eventful morning to share your experiences and stories. It does indeed enlighten us about our future careers in the industry. Before we end our session, let us take some pictures to remember this memorable event. It would be great if everyone could turn on their camera and smile brightly. So